What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we're going to talk about the number one mistake most of you are making with respect to trading penny stocks. And then the obvious question of this day is, with the market in a bit of a corrective phase, is now the time to go all in, or should you wait? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless each and every one of you. It's approaching 1 o'clock here just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Before I talk about the numero uno mistake that's keeping most of you from getting rich, I got a couple of housekeeping items. First of all, if you're a member of our Discord, you must load a profile picture, Eddie. You got banned 2 or 3 days ago and you have not responded to our outreach. The minute you load that photo, you'll be back inside the Discord making money, because in the last 48 hours, I've pretty much gone all in. If you want to know the 7 stocks that I'm buying across the board, there's a link pinned in the top comment. Save 50 is your promo code. That'll be the case for the rest of this year. That gets you 50% off your first month, and I give you the second month for free. In other words, you will not pay me, not this year nor next, more than $2 a day. If you got to get rich, if you want to get rich, excuse me, and if you watched yesterday's video, and probably not many of you did, we've had 27 wins in the last 6 weeks. You do the math. What is a 36% profit 27 times over the last month and a half? On $5,000 trades, it's $48,600, but I often wonder, am I talking to the island of the misfit toys? Right? Rudolph's coming up, the dentist. You know, the island of misfit toys. Is that what YouTube has become? We just had a guy, I won't use his first name. He says, I haven't been using the service much in the last several months. Cancel my account. Okay, no problem. But I've seen you online every day for an entire fucking year. Do you realize that we've 15x'd our money in the last 2 years since you've been a member, almost 8x? And you're not using the service much? So I'm calling out, past, present, and future. If there's anybody on this godforsaken site known as YouTube that wants to make money, I will send you all the trades in real time to the millisecond of what I'm buying and selling. And in case you didn't hear me, in the last month and a half alone, 26 wins for an average gain each of 36%. You can't find this sort of thing anywhere else. And oh, by the way, if you got a small business and you'd like my help advertising it both on our directory as well as around the world on social media, you go to trysmallbiz.com, you get a premium. If you're like most of our folks and you just want to make money in the market, it's a Discord. Again, it's pinned in the top comment. All right, first of all, the number one mistake most of you are making, it's the major reason why people come and go. We've had over 300 people come and go, and it pains me. Some very, very good people, many of which I promoted if you look around this room, and they completely fucked themselves, not me, out of a fortune. You thought you were going to screw me by not paying your bill 2 hours before it was due. And in reality, you walked away from 4, 5, 6, even 10 times or more on your money. And all you had to do was to enter the trades that I sent you in real time. The major reason, outside of the fact that some people don't like me, if you can believe that or not, is they have an all-in Vegas style attitude to making money in the stock market, and that will not work. You ever go to Vegas? Right? You're in Vegas. It's midnight. Everybody's fucking wasted. You get a group of guys, 4 or 5 of them walking around. All of a sudden, they roll up to the roulette table. Uh-oh. I'm putting it all on red. 10 grand down on red. Spins the wheel. It comes in. Rah! They're high-fiving. I'm going to go one more time. I'm putting 10 grand on black. Spin the wheel. It comes in again. He's like, all right, one more time. And there's always a sober guy in the group Probably some of you that are watching me that says, hey, wait a second. This could pay for the next half a dozen trips to Vegas. Let's get out of here. Let's go over to the buffet, get something to eat. We'll go out later, have a great time. No. Just one more time. Spins that wheel. Wah, wah, wah. The croupier says, we'll take that. And by the way, fellas, the buffet is right over there. The same exact thing goes on at a website that I no longer mention every fucking day of the week. They got the pre-market gap and goes, and you're stepping into a freight train that's up 150% from where it was the day before. And that'll work for one, maybe even two spins of the wheel. And the third time you try to do something like that, and everybody that's watching me has that same experience as I've had over the last 30 plus years, here comes the 1 o'clock in the afternoon, way below market offering based on the prior 10-day VWAP, and you get chopped off at the knees. And then you start to panic. All your gains are gone. So you jump into an even riskier play, and that stock goes down by 30% because you didn't know they had an ATM at the market offering already in effect. Folks, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've made all the mistakes as a broker from 93 to 07. I no longer trade options. It wiped me out in 08 when I went bankrupt. I no longer trade on margin. You should not trade or spend any more money than you fucking have. And if you get sucked into the dopamine fucking addiction over there, it'll work for a spin or two. Maybe if you're really lucky, a third time. But there aren't any, and I'm talking any people watching me right now that consistently make the kind of money that we do, chasing the gap and go, pre-market up in nosebleed territory type stocks. It doesn't work. If you play poker, and I know a lot of you do you go all in on the ante? Right? Your boys are dealing, all right, boys, let's play some Texas Hold'em. I'm all in. The idiot at the table, Phil, says, I'm all in. We haven't even dealt the cards yet, Phil. I'm all in. And what happens to Phil? He gets an offsuit deuce and a 9. Wah, wah, wah. No. The best poker players in the fucking world, they ante up. Or in the case of a trade, we put no more than a third of a position to start. 2/3 to 3/4 of a poker hand comes after they see 7 motherfucking cards. The same rules apply to trading. Warren Buffett bought Apple dozens of times. He also sold it dozens of times. The best investors / hedge funds / traders in the entire fucking world ease their way into a position. So when you hear people say about me, oh, you got to buy a stock 10 or 20, 30 times, that's true. It's true. If you want to make fucking money, you've got to ease your way in, put a third of the money in up front. So if you typically put $5,000 in, 1,500 or thereabouts goes in at a quarter. Because how many times, put your hand up, have you bought a stock at a quarter and 20 minutes later it's at 15 cents, you're already down 30% and you've got no more dry powder. I know it's happened to you hundreds, if not thousands of times because it's happened to me. It took me 30 fucking years to master a system that's up 15x in the last 2 years, over 3.5x in the last 6 weeks. Not a single one of you is watching. So while nobody took advantage of the opportunity last night, I'll be floored. And if you're doing it out of spite, okay, karma's a bitch. If nobody takes advantage of that link below, I can help you get rich day by day. And because we only buy stocks like DFLI or DVLT, which I sold too early, they were already gutted. But in the case of DVLT, if you went all in 2 months ago when they filed that naked short selling lawsuit, that's when the stock bumped up to 80 cents. It then went down to 30 before the CEO conveniently wrote himself a $3 million note and bought a bunch of stock at 32. And while I did make the mistake of getting out way too early in both of those cases, I've still had 27, working on 28 wins in the last 6 or 7 weeks. Do you have anything close to that? No. But we live in a society where we want the jab, right? Give me the jab. I don't want to go to the fucking park and walk around for fucking 10 miles. No. I don't want to lift weights 2 or 3 times a week. No. I don't want to eat fucking clean and get rid of the processed food. No. I don't want to pay my fucking taxes. I don't want to pay back my student loans. I don't want to tip the waiter or the waitress. We don't want to do anything. I often wonder, God bless and rest his soul, my grandfather, a product of the Great Depression, was the youngest of 12, grew up on a farm in Missouri, and was raised by an all-black family. God bless each and every one of them. I used to see their pictures on the wall. I used to say, Grandpa, why are there so many black folks, colored folks, African-American folks on our wall? And tears would come rolling down his eyes, and he would tell me story after story after story of fucking sacrifice, of commitment, of going with less than what you really wanted to have. But that's not what we do now. No, give it to me. I want the whole thing up front. I want to put all my money on black or red, and I want to make a fucking killing. That does not work. Boy, that was a tangent. But it's true. Love you, Grandpa. In closing, I am one of the best traders in the entire world, bar none. Not the richest, not even close. And while I'm doing a hell of a lot better now than I was just a few years ago, we're just getting started. Even though we're up 15x in 2 years and a month, we're going to be up way more than that in the next 1, 3, 5, and 10 years. Do not let another motherfucking video go by without taking advantage of that link. This pullback we're having right here until we bottom in the second half, most likely, of October, and your typical fourth quarter Santa Claus rally is your chance to get long the same fucking stocks I'm buying right now. 7 of them to be exact. And until next time, always remember that I love you. And I hope you take advantage right fucking now in the pinned comment. Thanks for watching.